Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Team Lonely Child Boxing, keeping it real boxing, everything boxing. Once again, I will have the CEO of Team Lonely Child Boxing chiming in momentarily. About to send out these links as per usual, and then we going to get down with the get down. You know what I mean? So, few seconds, and we'll be off and running. How y'all doing out of the day, man? Hope the weather not hindering your day. Hope everybody's safe and sound. You know, everything's well and ready to get it in. 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 First topic of the day. You know, my partner said he got a lot to say on this topic as well. But the first topic of the day, we gonna rehash the aftermath for Mark Breland and Deontay Wilder because it's a lot to bust down right here. It's a lot to bust down in this situation, and I think everybody that's a trainer, everybody that's a fighter, really need to look at this situation very, very closely and very detailed. You know what I mean? I owe Mark Breland an apology. I said, I wanted Mark to continue to take the high road because of, what I feel his status was in boxing. But a lot of people don't even realize the status of Mark Breland. Mark Breland was a member of what was deemed as the greatest Olympic team ever. Evander Holyfield, Pernell Whitaker, just to name a few, Frank Tate, Meldick Taylor, just a few, all went on to, do great things. Mark Breland was part of that team. Mark Breland had to work extra hard just to be part of that team. So this is a man that's name has been synonymous in the sport of boxing since 1984. And that's not to say nothing negative or anything to downplay anything to do with Deontay Wilder, but just to say when people look at this guy, you got to know who you talking about. You got to know who Mark Breland is. You know what I mean? Break down exactly who you're dealing with and what he's dealing with. So the situation is kind of touchy. You hate to see people who, you know, at one point in time was brothers. You hate to see brothers in this type of situation. You hate to see anybody dealing with this type of situation, but let's bust it down because there's a lot to break down here. I looked at Deontay's response, and then I seen Mark Breland's what he said, what he came back with. And it kind of lets you know what the thing situation really basically is. It looked like to me these two brothers that genuinely had love for one another. They genuinely loved one another. They genuinely liked one another. But when it came to boxing and the business of boxing, they just had two different ways of looking at it. It looked like Mark stayed around because he really wanted to see what was the well-being of Deontay Wilder, and he really wanted to see, maybe, it's like, we all stay in a relationship too long. Sometimes relationships ain't going the way we wanted to go, but we stay anyway. So it looked like Mark was really hoping that he could actually get a chance to actually teach him those fundamentals, to teach him those things that he needed necessary. So what happened that night, this night that broke everything down, wouldn't have happened. On the flip side, as a fighter, sometimes you got to look at everything in the mirror. You know, so when we do things and we being successful and we winning and winning cures everything. But when we winning and everything smiling, everything doing good, sometimes you don't learn nothing. Sometimes when you lose, you learn everything. And this is a situation where that loss brought out everything. That loss brought out all the things that many of us felt that was kind of wrong with the camp. Many things that we thought that was kind of wrong with him as growing as a fighter. Not saying anything about Deontay the man. We just talking about Deontay the fighter right now. We all recognize that he had out of this world power. We all recognize that he had out of this world, freakish knockout ability and athleticism. But we all knew that his boxing skills was limited, and we all wondered why. Why with somebody like Mark Breland in your camp? How could you be so limited? And now we now know that Mark Breland really didn't get a chance to really impose his teaching and his knowledge upon him the way he wanted to because he was basically treated as an employee, not a actual trainer. Now, which is kind of listen, as you're a fighter, you coming up in the sport, this is something you got to kind of look at because listen, that person in that corner, you are entrusted them in your life. Yes, boxing is that type of sport that you can easily, one punch can change your life. One punch can change how you live your day to day. One punch can take you from being a regular man, proud and strong, to now being dependent on somebody to take care of you. One punch mean that much. So your trainer, your coach means that much to you, means that much to your well-being. So you can't, now I'm not taking shots at Deontay, but you can't treat him like he's just an employee. You know what I mean? No, he don't. You don't got to treat him like he's family. You don't got to treat him like a brother, but you need to treat his position with more respect than what he was given. You know what I mean? This man said he didn't even have his personal phone number. You know what I mean? That was kind of weird for a trainer not to have the phone number of a fighter. You know what I mean? This right here, what you see is the results. What Mark Breland put out there, he wasn't allowed to teach. What Mark Breland put out there, he was basically treated as an employee. That showed everything came to fruition that night in the ring with Tyson Fury, because we saw it. We saw the results of you not having no answers when that person don't go down from your punch. We saw you not being able to adapt to nothing that man was doing. So, and let's just be honest, losing just ain't your thing. You were so good at winning that you don't know how to lose. You know what I mean? You got to know how to lose. You know, take the loss, go back to the camp, and the one person that could teach you what you needed to learn, you just got rid of. You know what I mean? Mark Breland, I feel for him because it's sad that somebody from the 1984 Olympic team, one of the greatest Olympic teams, if not the greatest Olympic team ever, a pillar in the sport of boxing. Now, every single time we look at him, we got to look at aftermath that happened between him and the fighter he was training. That's not good. That's not good for us. That's not good for the sport. It's not good for nothing. Deontay, right now, I really, really, really hope, somehow, some way y'all can reconcile. If I wouldn't recommend y'all train with one another or whatnot, but at least reconcile so y'all can stop what's going on out there right now. And at the same time, you really need to do this, Deontay, for your personal growth, because the situation that you're in, you're trending down the wrong path. The next topic we got, like, what's next for Deontay Wilder? We don't know. We don't know. But I would say this, Deontay Wilder kind of has that Adrian Broner effect, which means that regardless of how you feel about him, people going to tune in to see him. Wherever he go, people still going to gravitate to him. So until he just gets completely wiped out of the sport, people are still going to chime in. When the next time he fight, we're going to watch because he has that persona. He has that image. People like knockouts. People like the brashness. People like his outgoingness. So he's not going anywhere in the sport. We just pray somehow, some way they find somebody that can teach him those basic fundamentals that came back to haunt him that night against Tyson Fury. Because what we saw, that was hard to watch. If you was a fan of him, that was hard to watch. You know what I mean? That was definitely not, something that we enjoy watching. Nothing against Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury won me over. I wasn't a Tyson Fury fan. I didn't like Tyson Fury, but he won me over. His persona and everything he did won me over. Yes, we can get into the glove gate and say the stuff was tampered and all that, but ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say it, man. The man you should have had in that dressing room was Mark Breland. The man and to be honest with you, let's just be honest. If Mark Breland wasn't in that man's corner that night, when he said he looked up and he saw his fighter, blood coming out his ears, eyes all glossy, he thought that his fighter was suffering from what could be a future brain injury. So he threw the towel. That's love. That's love. Regardless of what you say, Deontay Wilder, he was this, he was that. That's love. That's a genuine love. That's a love for a father would have for his son, a brother would have for another brother. I salute you, Mark Breland. I pray this situation goes over. And I know I'm not picking sides and I'm not slighting Deontay, but bro, that was crazy. That was crazy. What I seen in them comments and what he said, that hit town. That hit town because this is a sport that I love. This is a sport that I watched over the years. But yes, this is a sport. This is the hurt business. People get badly hurt in this sport. It can ruin your life. You will not be able to live a normal life outside of this with some of this stuff that can happen to you in this ring. So when you have somebody that, good gracious, this is a man that been around the creme of the creme of boxers, the creme of the creme, the essence of boxing. And you won't listen to him. that's kind of hard for me to see. You that's just something you gotta work with. Sometimes success can be your worst enemy. Sometimes success can be the worst thing that can happen to you, because when you get successful, sometimes you think everything is just going to stay the same. You're never going to face adversity, and when adversity comes, you can't deal with it. So we just going to continue to we're going to continue to hope that that situation pans out the right way, man. Like I said, salute Deontay Wilder when you come back. Go ahead and take that fight with Charles Martin. Get your burns about you. Get your work back out you and wait for the winner of Tyson Fury and Joshua. Let's hope it's Joshua, because I don't want to see a Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3. You know what I mean? Like I said, as we wait for my partner to chime in, we're going to move on to the next topic. Jared Hurd and Jamel Charlo shared some pleasantries on IG, going back and forth, said some things and all that. You know what? I'm going to be honest, I forgot all about the potential and the possibilities of that fight. I forgot that fight was even on the radar. But now that it is, let me ask everybody, man, is this a fight the fans still want? Is this a fight the fans will watch? Do we still want it? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll gladly watch it, man. And everybody that knows me know how I feel about Jared Hurd. I love Jared Hurd. But man, Jared Hurd, I need you to come in completely focused. I need you to come in this fight completely on your A game. I need you to come in there ready to do what I felt you could have been able to do before the J-Rock fight and before the fights after that. But I need to see that. I need to see that Jared Hurd that was in the ring with Austin Trout, the Jared Hurd that fought Landy Laura. I need that Jared that night, because you're going to need it. Because right now, Jamal Charlo is walking around with that sense of I'm invincible. Can't nothing stop me. I'm indestructible. And he's going to come in the ring with all of that. He's going to come in the ring with all of that. We're going to get everything that Jamal Charlo is and want to be. So he's not going to come in there chucking and jiving. He's not going to come in there playing around. He's going to come in there to get busy, and he's coming to take what he thinks you're coming to take, what he feels is rightfully his. He feels he's the king of 154. He feel like the man. You put some stuff out there, and now you responding. I guess he got what he wanted. This is the fight that we've always wanted. We've always wanted to see Charlo Hurd. I mean, right now, Jared the homie. I like you. But I need to see that Jared Hurd from Landy Laura and the Jared Hurd from Austin Trout before I can even conceive or think about you possibly pulling this one off. I believe in you. I believe you can pull it off. But he's going to have to show me that cutting off the ring ability to be able to weather the storm, that come in there, raise a sharp focus, and just put that J-Rock fight behind you. Just act like that fight never existed, or learn from it. To come through sharp, crisp, and all that, and then maybe we can get a trilogy, or maybe a rematch, maybe a fight so good. I think this fight could be it. This fight could be it. You know what I mean? So this could be a good fight to make, man. You know what I mean? I would love to see that, and like I said, wish you the best and all that. But you got to give us that. You got to give us the best Jared Hurd, because Charlo gonna come with his best. Charlo gonna come with his best. You already know he gonna come with a hard camp. He gonna have the right fighters in there for his camp, and you gotta come to Boogie, baby. You got to come to Boogie, man. Like I said, right now I'm gonna save our picks for when the fight is made. But like I said, just off looking at the potentials and the possibility, I want to see. I just want Jared to come in there crisp, come in there sharp, so we can have a great fight. Nothing else. If we have a great fight and something that would make us want to do it again, I'm cool with that. I can live with that. You know what I mean? Also, is Tank really the biggest star out there of that younger generation? Because Teofimo had the biggest win. Beating Lomachenko made him the king of the hill. Ryan Garcia has crazy following on, social media. And his fight was dramatic. He got dropped by Luke Campbell, got back up, knocked out Luke. Fans go crazy over stuff like that. Then he was right after the fight, he's sitting in the dressing room with Mike Tyson. He's FaceTiming Tank. You know what I mean? Then it was a potential of him possibly fighting Manny Pacquiao. So apparently some sort of fanfare and stardom is following this kid, or they believe he's going to be a bigger star, or they believe he can be a big star. So something surrounding this kid is definitely there. Then you have Devin Haney, who says he's his own boss. They believe he has the best deal, or he may be potentially working the best deal in his situation. And then you got Tank, who had the highlight reel knockout of Leo Santa Cruz, and then that got everybody buzzing. You know, probably I think they probably gonna rule that the knockout of the year. So weird, but like I said, who's the man? Who's the real man right now? Who's the star? I think we all will agree that status wise, not popularity, not who gonna make the most money, but status wise, in terms of accomplishment, it should be Teofimo Lopez because Teofimo has fought the man. He beat the guy. He beat Lomachenko, the man that they had on the mountain, the man that they said was this. He knocked out Richard Coleman. So he's the guy in terms of that. Now, you know, the other guys, they just finally had their first big, you know, where Tank has two big fights, the knockout over Pedraza and then the knockout over Leo Santa Cruz. But it's clearly the vehicle behind Tank is the best one violent. And then the flair of his knockout and the flair of his dramatics and his, you know, they're attracted to those guys. Knockouts sell tickets. Knockouts make people want to sit down. Knockouts want to see that. And then the fact that he's super dramatic and quick and freakish with his knockouts makes people even more attracted to it. You know what I mean? So to me, they're all special in their own way. And I think they need to do a round robin. They do need to do a super six of the 135-pound division because I can sit back and watch each and one of them fight each other over and over and over and over. So they should be able to do the four kings like Leonard Hagler, Hearns, Duran. They should be able to do something like that. And let's just see who comes out of there. But in terms of popularity it just looks like Tank has the best vehicle. It looks like T.O. Tank will probably end up being the biggest fight out of that. I just I don't see the push behind Devin Haney from that side. You know what I mean? He's definitely somebody that we like, somebody that we do. And speaking of Devin Haney, I don't know how this happened, but Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna, who's supposed to be the mandatories for Devin Haney, look like they're gonna fight each other. Don't know how that happens, but look like they're gonna fight each other, and it looked like Jorge Linares is gonna end up in the ring with Devin Haney. Now, the crazy thing about this is, it looked like to me, because don't get him twisted. Javier Fortuna is not no walk in the park. Javier Fortuna is not no automatic Vic easy win. It's not just a fight that you just jump in there and it's just gonna be an easy Vic. But however, I do believe that Golden Boy is looking at Fortuna as definitely a safer fight for Ryan Garcia than Jorge and Linares, and definitely a safer fight for him than Devin Haney. Or else the Devin Haney fight would happen right now. You know what I mean? Or the Jorge Linares fight would happen right now because they was talking about him fighting from after his fight. They went to Manny Pacquiao, then they went to Jorge Linares. Now they had Javier Fortuna. And like I said, don't get it twisted. Javier Fortuna is not no walk in the park. It's not no easy fight. It could be a much tougher fight than they actually looking at it. But it's clear that they looked at his list of people that he could potentially fight and say, hey, man, this might be the safest fight. That's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me. Because we went from Tank. It went from Tank to supposed to be Devin to might be Jorge Linares. Now we have Javier Fortuna. You tell me. You know what I mean? And then a potential exhibition, real fight / whatever with Manny Pacquiao. We went all the way around Robert to get to Javier Fortuna. Again, he's not no walk in the park, but he's not Tank. He's not Devin. He ain't Manny. And he, you know what I mean? And I guess they view he's not as vicious as Jorge Linares or a bigger threat as Jorge Linares. You know what I mean? So don't understand. It clearly looked like they want to just after that knockdown from Luke Campbell must have been a little too uncomfortable for Oscar. So it looked like he wanted to just hold his son back just a little bit longer. just a little bit longer before he puts him in there with one of the other, with one other with the other kings. But I mean, this is this. Look, like I said, I guess we'll accept that fight. It's not a bad fight. We'll look at the Jorge Lawrence, Devin Haney, and we'll look at the Javier Fortuna, Ryan Garcia. Not what we wanted, not what we expected, but we'll take it. You know what I mean? We'll take it. We'll take it. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and tap up out of here. We'll probably check back with you tomorrow at the same time, man. Just want to give you some quick updates and some things that's going on. Like I said, that situation with Mark Breland and Deontay Wilder really resonated home because this is something that I think a lot of fighters need to look at. You gotta really know who's in your corner and allow them to teach you. You should always be willing to be taught. Even when you're winning, you should always be willing to be taught. When you win and win and win, you're always willing to be taught. Continue to be taught. Continue to listen. Continue to learn. Like if you look at Floyd Mayweather, even when he's in the corner, he's looking at everything that's going on. He's looking at everything that's going on. He's looking at the people in the crowd. He's looking at the clock. He's listening to the commentators. But every single time, he still was in tune to whatever Roger was saying, whatever Floyd Mayweather Sr. was saying. You're never too good to be taught. You know what I mean? No matter if you 45 and 0, 50 and 0, whatever, you always should be in there listening to what your trainer is telling you. That is one of the things that will lead to your destruction. Because see, listen, a loss is a loss. You can have all that and still lose, but when you get pummeled, beaten, and battered, and maybe may never be the same, that comes from lack of discipline, and that comes from a lack of not paying attention or willing to be taught. See that right there, it's a way to take a loss. You shouldn't have to get totally demolished in the ring to take a loss, and that comes from you not paying attention to your trainer and coach. You know, if you don't respect him, then find somebody you do. If you don't want to listen to him, then find somebody that you will listen to. You know what I mean? But yeah, going forward, man, y'all be good, be blessed. We out of here. Team Lone Child Boxing.